All right, welcome to another episode of Live with KB. I'm your host, Kendall Butler. Today I have my guest, Kaymi Butler. We're going to get into her life story, her upbringing, and what made her get involved with her nonprofit organization, amongst other things she's involved in right now. So Kaymia, I know a lot of people know you already, but to just introduce you to my audience, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Sure, so my name is Kaymi, like he mentioned. Born in Nashville, but I was raised in Evansville, Indiana. So literally preschool through high school, Evansville. I did my first year of college in Evansville, Indiana at the University of Southern Indiana. Came here back to Nashville because I knew I had that family support. So my mom's side of the family is all here. And finished my undergraduate degree at the Middle Tennessee State University.
Got you. So being from Evansville, how was it growing up in Evansville when you were coming up?
It was difficult. I would say that I was a very rebellious child. And I think that stemmed from trying to fit in with what I was majority surrounded by. So I went to start it off, Evansville, Indiana is not a diverse state, city, nothing. So I went to probably top 2 most predominantly white schools back home. And so I got into a lot of fights, physical fights. I got in trouble a lot, with the teachers. And ultimately, as I grew older, I realized it was because I was trying to fit in, and I obviously wasn't born to fit in. So it just caused a lot of conflict.
And you're possibly in an environment you weren't really comfortable in to kind of just walk into almost.
Right.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I got you. Yeah, 'cause I know Evansville's right outside Kentucky, so it's not that far off. So when you're growing up in Evansville, being young in your youth days, what was your biggest influence growing up?
My biggest influence growing up? I'll say that I didn't really have an influence. I was really the type of person that I just wanted to do what I wanted to do.
Right.
I always knew that I wanted to be a lawyer though, because I was the one that was talking back. I was the one that always had to put their 2 cents into something. I would say that I had a lot of mentors, but I didn't grasp onto the fact that they were actually there in my life to help me and to help me progress and to get opportunities and stuff like that. Because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. Right,
that was the main thing,
yeah.
I guess. So with you wanting to be a lawyer, did you see something on TV growing up that kind of people just say that to you when you were expressing yourself, you should be a lawyer, because you're always very putting your 2 cents in, so people just kind of led you onto that path?
Yeah, it was mainly, you got that mouth, you like to argue a lot, you need to be a lawyer type of thing, and I just kind of held on to it.
I got you. So attending MTSU, how was that experience?
It was a culture shock for me, and people think I'm crazy when I say this, but moving to Tennessee, obviously Murfreesboro area, Rutherford County, that was the most Black people I've ever seen in my life.
Gotcha.
So the whole culture shock, it made me it turned me from an extrovert into an introvert, because I was I guess you could say intimidated by seeing people that looked just like me trying to progress in a state that I was, because I didn't see that back home. So yeah, it made me kind of close.
Did it turn out to be good? Was it a good experience for you overall, you would say? Kind of 50-50 maybe? I'm
gonna say 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I still got into some things at MTSU that was you might not
go back to the old days a little bit.
You might not, get this degree or whatever, but yeah.
So being and I think college is a very vital point in our life, right? So you're kind of mid-age, but you're becoming an adult slowly but surely. So I would say, what positive teachings or values did you learn, whether it was from being a college student, people that you met on campus, or your growth period? What did you kind of take from being at MTSU those 3, 4, 5 years?
I think the way that God worked for me in order for me to learn was that He took me through certain lessons that forced me to learn. Okay. So I would say my biggest influence was myself and my mistakes, because I wasn't listening to nobody. Couldn't nobody tell me nothing. And I try really hard not to be that person. So I always tell my staff, I tell even my students that I serve, I'm gonna remain teachable. If I'm wrong, I can be wrong, because I mean, it just took me a long time to get here. And
Right.
I realized that that's a better way to kind of go about the situation in order to grow anyways. So.
Yeah, I got you. So doing research on you, I found out that you had a point in time in your life you was working at a local juvenile detention center, whether it was an internship or not. How did you get involved with that type of work?
I don't remember what year I started. It might have been maybe 2012. Yeah, 2012. I'm lying. It had to have, because I was in high school in 2012. It was 2015, 16, I think. So the undergraduate degree was criminal justice, and I knew that I didn't want to be sitting in the classroom for, I believe, like my half of my junior and then senior year of college. So explored the option of internship. I was actually already working at the juvenile detention center, and then I kind of just asked them, hey, can I also make this a learning experience beyond my normal, daily tasks and duties and stuff like that? And they were like, of course. And so they let me on the inside and gave me like outside tasks that I could do and, audits and things of that nature. And so I really loved it. I think I've always kind of had a passion to want to give back. And for some reason, I've always just gravitated towards the youth. And so I just thought that was kind of a win-win situation for me.
Yeah, because I used to work at a level 3 juvenile detention center in Donaldson. So, we saw a lot going on. And just dealing with the kids on an everyday basis.
Absolutely.
As a supervisor, you're dealing with the kids one-on-one, you're dealing with staff. So you're kind of seeing it from a different direction than somebody seeing on the outside and just judging everybody inside. So while you was working there, and I know you say you was gravitating towards the youth, what would you say that was based on? Love that you just had for kids, or knowing your own beginnings in life and kind of seeing you be able to connect to them some type of way? What kind of?
Yeah, I would say my own upbringing. I'm also a PK, which is a preacher's kid. So I grew up in the church. My father is a preacher, an ordained minister. But that's kind of what started my journey with youth. Was at the juvenile detention center. I like to say that I went above and beyond my work expectation, and I would ask the students if they wanted to do Bible study. And the students that did, we would participate. We would go over like certain scriptures, and then they was really just like, we want more. We want to learn more and all that kind of stuff. And so that was like a learning lesson for them, but it also was a learning experience for me because it made me want to dive more into my Bible. And then when I started doing that, and a lot of them were being positively affected by it, I had a few of the students say, hey, Miss they called me Officer Butler at the time. Once I get out of here, like, can you be my mentor? And so after that, I tried to start finding avenues to where I could mentor previously incarcerated juveniles. And so that led me into, volunteering at different organizations and then working for different organizations that were pretty much serving youth in that capacity. Yeah,
and I think that's important, the fact that you added another schedule to their already busy schedule. Because I think some of them, like we used to have just regular stuff, recess, they had class a couple hours of the day, but they were kind of used to it. So they knew if they wanted to act up, I can do it in this period of the day. Or, because they were just kind of used to it. So you bring something else to the table. That's very unique in itself, and also when they get released, because a lot of them, they looked up to us while we was working there too. So they would add us, on social media. We kind of be able to checking up on them. But it's kind of like they get sent out there. They complete this program, but then they get sent out to the world. Some may do Job Corps if they're of that age, but some just go back to their house, and live with their parents. And we used to have kids that didn't even want to do that, because they knew if I go back home, I'm gonna get into the same stuff and end up back in here. So they would literally stay until they turn 18 to go to Job Corps, and that's kind of screwed up. But most definitely gotta have programs. And
it's good for them to see people that look like us in that facility, because like you said, they were on a schedule, and so I think they would bring in priests or church on a Saturday, but those priests and that church didn't look like us. So the information that they were retaining, it was like, I hear you, but I'm not really listening.
And when they tuning people out, they just there because they got to be there, for sure. So going off of that, working there and gaining those experiences, what kind of gave you the influence to start up Black Lemonade?
So I like to say that literally Black Lemonade was thrown in my lap. I had no intentions of ever starting a nonprofit. The name Black Lemonade came literally out of thin air. I just knew that I wanted to complete law school, get this law degree, and be in the field,
Right.
working. Like,
Right.
that's it. So it was really like God putting everything together, me being in the right place at the right time. Like I said, I always knew I wanted to work with youth. I just didn't know in what capacity. I knew, you know, obviously law school, and I told myself, well, maybe I'll do family court, maybe I'll do juvenile law. But I'm a crybaby, and I was like, I can't really be in court. And hearing these stories and stuff like that, like, it's gonna get
So
to
it'll
me.
be breaking down.
Yeah, so
All
I
right.
was like, let me figure this out. But yeah, Black Lemonade was literally like,
Just
there you
on
go.
in. What year did you start off?
Say it again.
What year did you start it off?
2020.
2020? Okay, so that's
So,
during COVID.
Yeah.
That's during all the stuff, the Ahmaud Arbery's, the George Floyd's of the world. Did any of those situations I just named have an effect on you at all?
I will say George Floyd. So it was the end of May that we experienced the loss of George Floyd, May 2020. And then June 3rd is when Black Lemonade was founded.
Okay.
I had a colleague kind of say, you know, hey, I want to do something. And I made sure that, you know, whatever that something was that we decided to do, that it was something consistent. Because I'll tell you one thing that just irks my nerves is constantly seeing, you know, the police brutality, us getting killed back to back, and then people saying, I'm going to do something, and then it's like, okay, where y'all at now?
Because it's a thing to do at the moment.
Yeah,
You know.
it's like it dies out. So me having Black Lemonade, I promised myself this wasn't going to be something that I'm just going to quit at.
Right.
Like, I need to instill in these kids how to love themselves, how to love others despite the differences, and just keep going with it. But that George Floyd thing was kind of like the spark. And like I said, I was in the right place at the right time, and literally God said Black Lemonade, and I was like, wow.
Yeah. I commend you there for sure, because after his death and after Ahmaud Arbery, jobs all over the world trying to do diverse, you know, programs inside their workplace. Everybody thought they had an idea to kind of curb or try to help it, but like you said, you look 6-12 months down the road, where they at now.
Yeah.
A lot of them not even, you know, even jobs that were doing that type of work, not doing it no more in the work field. It was kind of like everything was so hot, everybody's just trying to have a way to kind of build around it. So with you owning Black Lemonade and working with the youth, have you enjoyed it so far? It's like a good experience?
Absolutely. I mean, I have kids that are like, oh, you're my second mom, or, you know, my staff that I've brought in, they've built bonds with these kids. Because like you said about even the ones that were in the juvenile detention center, some of them would literally just go back home. Some of them literally enjoyed being in that juvenile detention center because they knew they was going to get breakfast, lunch, and dinner, a place to sleep every single night. But being able to have something to do after school, which, you know, we have after school programs and summer camps, like, they're not bored.
Right.
They have those mentors during that out of school time within Black Lemonade. And then not only that, we're doing, you know, social and emotional learning. So it's okay to be angry, it's okay to be mad, but how can we positively express our feelings to where it doesn't negatively impact either yourself or those who may be affected by it. So yeah, Black Lemonade is like to the death of me. Like, it's going nowhere.
Going off of that and just talking about what kids go through, whether it be anger, you know, or being happy, or just different moods. What do you think, in your opinion, our society can do to kind of help kids, you know, deal with that? Because, you know, a lot of kids now, I haven't looked in a minute, but I know the suicide rate for kids and depression in kids is high up. So what do you think as a society we can kind of help curb, or kind of at least lend a hand out to them?
Absolutely. Go and be a mentor. We already know that there's several fields in different industries that lack people of color.
Right.
And, you know, when I went to MTSU, I was seeing people of color in different fields, no matter what it was. I don't care if it's art, music, electrician, plumbing, like any type of field. I would say utilize your knowledge, your skills to be a mentor in any capacity, whether it's with Black Lemonade, if you're going to the YMCA, Creative Girls Rock, Backfield in Motion, any nonprofit that you can find, use what you have to be a mentor to a kid. I always told myself, like, when I started Black Lemonade, the goal is not to save every kid, because that's just not my purpose or my mission.
Right.
But I'm going to create those avenues, I'm going to create those spaces to where other people can come in and possibly be able to target that one child that's like, okay, there's a connection here. This person can grow with me as I, or they can grow with me as I grow and kind of learn from me as well. So mentorship is huge. And like I said, in any area possible, it's needed.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of us too in our age, we've, been through our growing stages in life, and we've gone through, teenage and all the way up to adulthood. So like you said, if you do see kids that kind of, you seen them going through what you may have gone through at a young age, you can literally give them advice, not your opinion, but hey, my situation might not be the same as yours, but I kind of had these same situations going on in my life at your time. Here's what I did, whether it was wrong or good, that got me through it where I'm at now, but I can at least give you some advice. And most kids, at least when you try, at least they can say somebody tried to help me. And even if they come back years later, reach out to you, say, man, I get it now, or I can really need your help. It doesn't take that much time out to really help kids.
Exactly.
During your work, is there a specific age group that you deal with, or is it
so this will be the first year that we are targeting high schoolers. So the past 2 years I've been doing kindergarten through 8th grade. And my nonprofit is located in both Evansville, Indiana and Nashville, Tennessee. So at this very moment, I got 2 summer camps going on. So you asked me, how was my weekend? I'm like, I don't remember, because I'm like, I work literally 24/7. But like I said earlier, I'm not complaining. I wouldn't trade it for the world, but we do serve kindergarten through 12th grade now. Okay.
Is it a big, of course it's a big difference dealing with high schoolers than kindergarten through 8th grade, but what do you see the tasks or challenges that the high schoolers are dealing with now in age? Like, I knew what we used to go through back in my day, but I'm sure like every generation has their different, problems that they deal with. Is there anything that kind of stands out to you? You're like, man, these high schoolers going through this, like that's kind of difficult to go through. Anything that stands out?
I would just say their influence. The way that we're serving high schoolers right now is through internship. So Metro has allocated us 10 interns for the summer to kind of help us expand whatever we're needing to expand with our own organizations. So obviously I'm taking them through a diversity, equity, and inclusion training so that they can go out in the world, whatever field that they want to be in, and be that voice or be that person that is kind of bringing that DE&I into their workspace. So I got kids that want to be, travel nurses, delivery nurses, software engineers, IT, barber, like it's all over the place. And so I'm trying to instill in them like diversity, equity, inclusion. Now I will say kids love social media. They love social media. They love, the reality TV shows and stuff like that. Just today, I was out last week, Thursday, and I opened up my computer. I have like computers that I give to the kids that they can work on. And it was Dancing Dolls. They was watching Dancing Dolls while I was gone. And I was like, what y'all doing watching this? on the job? And they was like, oh no, we was doing it on lunch. Nah, y'all wasn't. Y'all was watching this during them paid hours. But even like little things like that, like reality TV shows, like we have got to get into some space or make other things popular to where it's like they're seeing people that look like them progressing in better situations, in better states, and not all this drama and
I was just about to say they kind of tend to
being popular on TV and social media because they're watching.
Yeah, and I think the drama, I think that's really what they're attracted to without them even knowing it, because it's like, oh, it's drama, and then without drama comes your different feelings, your opinions, and to them it's like their own entertainment. So, but like you said, if that's your main, if you're looking at that throughout the day instead of reading a book or doing something very productive, naturally your brain is going to react it. They may not even know they're doing it, but a certain amount, your behavior is going to change at that point.
And I will say, I do have a good group of students. They are still very willing and ready to learn and work, but they do have to kind of switch it off, like, okay, let's get back into work, type of thing.
Since you have a nonprofit, do you feel like our communities that we have intact right now, they're doing a very good job trying to lead kids in the direction, or is that kind of like just in schools? Like they just hope the schools run a good program and these kids just go to college, or is there other? Since you're working in the community, you have a nonprofit. What do you see like the community, or what can they do better? What are they already doing now?
I'm still trying to navigate that. I will say I'm still a fairly new nonprofit. We just celebrated our 3rd year, so I mean, I think any nonprofit is going to say, I need more help.
Right.
And honestly, I do. I need more help because I'm the type of person I love to take on every task, and I'm not going to say I need help until you physically can see it on my face, or, you know, I'm stressed out or something like that. But really just go back to that mentorship thing. Like, if, you know, you sitting around Saturday, ain't got nothing to do, reach out to a nonprofit. They gonna say yes. Like, you can come in
volunteers,
right now. Yeah, volunteers. You can do something right now. There's always something going on. It's never a dull moment. There's always, you know, a problem to be solved. And, you know, that's one thing that that's the quote that we're kind of living off of. So when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So we're always making lemonade, and we always need the community's help. But I think, you know, just being active and willing to and wanting to, you know, just get active, whether it's with youth or just, you know, people in your culture, just get active, honestly.
Gotcha. Okay, well, going forward, your endeavors, what do you see yourself or your company doing in the next 5 years? I ain't gonna say 10, we'll say 5.
I don't like putting a time limit on things.
Well, what are your goals?
I can meet a billionaire tomorrow.
Right, most definitely.
I'm gonna be like, what?
What do you see? I would say, what do you see being what you've been through? I know you got a couple more weeks in camp, right? So you guys will be done July 28th. We're in last week of June now. What goals, or what do you see yourself doing next year? Whether it's something different, taking on a new task?
I really just want to expand the brand. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be in a third state. I would love to be in a third state, but when I'm thinking logistically, I want to make sure that Black Lemonade is driven by data, that we are a data-proven organization, or we have data-proven programs that say, hey, what they're doing actually works. But ultimately, I just want to continue to establish the brand. Gotcha. I think that big picture wise, like maybe those 5-10 years, but like I said, I could meet a billionaire tomorrow. It's like, I love it. Here's your $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. But I was in the car with a colleague, and we were driving past the skyline. Now, I've always said I wanted Black Lemonade to be the next YMCA, meaning a brick and mortar, like around the corner.
Weight room good. Now. I'm a member of the Y.
Well, we're not gonna do like workout, but I want it to be, do they call them high rise or sky rise? Downtown.
Oh, the sky rise.
Sky rise. Yeah. I want to be the sky rise in every big city. Okay. But the building is going to be, what do they call it? Co-working spaces. Okay. And then I want to have that grant that is like giving discounts to minority-owned businesses. So.
It's a nice goal to have.
Yeah.
So did you operate in Evansville and Nashville? Did they both start at the same time, or kind of like right up? Oh, okay, they both started. So
yeah.
Do you find yourself going back and forth from Evansville and Nashville a lot?
Yep, and you know, if anybody's watching this and want to donate a car, we need 15 passenger vans, we need all types of work cars. But I will say I have an amazing program director. She's actually colleague turned friend turned, she's gonna be my future bridesmaid turned program director, who has got Nashville down on lock for me. So I leave Nashville and everything is perfectly fine. And you know, I can go to Evansville and not have to worry about a thing. But yeah, I'm on that road. I'm leaving tomorrow to go to Evansville. All right. But yeah.
So if people want to reach out to you, you know, via phone, or try to, you know, volunteer or help out any other type of way that you might need help, how can they reach you?
Sure. So blacklemonade.org is the website. Okay. You guys can send us an email at info@blacklemonade.org. And just reach out and say, hey, I want to volunteer. I want to, you know, hang out with your kids. I have a curriculum that I want to kind of use and, you know, work with kids with. I'm all for wanting to help other people grow their business. Collaboration is key. Black Lemonade would not be where it's at had it not been for collaboration. What does they call it? Shameless plug. Like, shout out to Boom Squad of Evansville, the University of Evansville, AHEC at the University of Southern Indiana. They all saw my vision. I'm a crybaby. I'm finna cry. They all saw my vision, and that actually, that led me to getting an award by the mayor of Evansville, Indiana. So I won the Leadership and Diversity Award, and I can't even say it was literally just my award.
Right.
So all those people who literally was like, I see it. And
So your
here
path
it
is just getting started pretty
literally,
much. Okay,
yeah,
I
it's
got you.
just getting started.
All right, well,
But these gray hairs are coming a little faster than what they're supposed to be. So.
I got you. Well, I appreciate you coming by, sharing your life story, getting into with your early organization. I'm pretty sure we check back with you in 2-3 years. It's going to be a lot more stuff.
Absolutely.
So that's what's up. I'm glad to see you. Like you said, you're on a path to greatness. So that's most important. At least you start. You kind of got a vision. So that's very important. So I like you. Thank you for stopping by. Good luck on all your future endeavors. This is Kendall Butler, Kaymi Butler. So if you guys want to reach out to her, remember everything she just said. I'll post everything as well to have links if you guys want to reach out and help any way you can. Thanks for checking with Live KB. Catch us next time.